Hello again. So this is, I guess, part 2 of the Sump Refugium build for my 29 BioCube. As in the previous video, I mentioned that this was salvaged or part of a larger Sump Refugium that I had on my 55-gallon reef tank, and I kind of took it apart, and I'm going to show you, kind of go over the setup that's going to be happening here once everything's complete and I have all my internal baffles done. So let me put this in here. This piece here is basically going to separate the return chamber from the overflow chamber. So this first chamber is going to have the overflow from the BioCube go into it, and then it's going to go through this bubble trap. And then from the bubble trap, I'm going to have it go into basically the refugium area, which is right here. And I'm going to add another baffle here to regulate the water flow. And then from there, it's going to go into this area here where the return pump's going to be. It'll probably have some carbon in there as well. Oh, and the protein skimmer is going to be in this chamber as well. So hopefully there will not be a lot of micro bubbles going into the BioCube viewing area display tank. I don't know, I may have to think about that a little more, but so far that's what I've come up with. This Refugium Sump. It's going to fit underneath the BioCube, and pretty excited about getting it going. And over here, most of you might be aware of all this stuff, but just kind of go over it. This is the Weld-On 16 that I got from Taps Plastics, and I'm using this because some of my cuts on my acrylic were kind of shoddy. I didn't have my table saw with me. It's on a job site, so I used a Makita angle grinder to cut the acrylic, and you can see it's kind of rough. So I got this medium body solvent cement to basically weld the two pieces of acrylic together. This stuff you use when you have jagged edges. It kind of fills the voids in between the two pieces of acrylic. So it worked out well. It actually, this is the first time I've ever used it. Usually I'm pretty when I put together acrylic pieces, I'm pretty anal about it. I like to cut it on a table saw and get nice clean edges, and then I actually put it on a planer and plane it, so you get really nice adhesion with the solvent, where you don't need to use that medium body acrylic glue. And as you can see, this seam right here on my my first build when I used it for the 55 is very clean. There's no bubbles, and I got that by using a table saw and a planer. But this stuff works pretty good. This solvent, so far so good on the rough cuts. As you can see, I'm kind of just throwing this thing together. This is really rough, and I'll be using that medium body solvent as well. And but for the most part, the the main structure itself, the main exterior panels, there is no leaks, so I'm not really worried about the internal panels. If there's a little tiny leak in them, I don't think it's going to make a big difference. I could always silicone it, I suppose, but for now, that medium-bodied solvent's working really good. So this is the the other stuff you use. This is the fast-setting, free-flowing solvent that actually welds the two pieces of acrylic together. And if you go to Tap Plastic's website, they have videos on how to do the actual welding. And then you have this little applicator here, right here, that you put the solvent in, and has a needle. You pop this off, has this needle applicator, and you basically just, once this is filled with the solvent, you just run it along here, let it set for 24 hours, and you got a great bond. Basically it becomes one. It's like a weld. It is a weld. So at any rate, that's about it. It's pretty easy to do as far as constructing stuff out of acrylic. I love the material. It's kind of expensive sometimes, but it's really easy to put together and cut, as long as you have the right tools, of course. But that's it, and hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for taking a look, and I'll update as soon as the whole saw kit gets here. Thank you for watching.